Greetings everyone, welcome back to another episode of Vape Shop Live. I'm Ronnie with Big Chief Vapors, and we're on the other side of the shop today. Change around the aesthetic, switch it up a little bit, make things look more original. I gotta look at this, I'm staring at my face. Anyway, today as we update, I'm here by my computer, got my computer here, Whoa. Anyway, I don't know. Alright, so here we go. More bad news for the vaping industry as a whole. It's an older article, so we've been sitting on this bad news for about a month now. This is the month anniversary, actually, of this article being written. This is an article from December 17th over on Vaping 360. You can find all kind of vaping news on vaping360.com. Keep you up to date on all the crazy stuff that's going on in the vaping world today. So let's read about AVAIL Vapor. It's really sad what's happened over there. So here we go. One of the largest independent vaping businesses in the United States is selling off assets and closing the vape shops it hasn't already sold. AVAIL Vapor, based in Richmond, Virginia, at one time owned over 100 branded vape shops, a regulatory compliance and consulting business, and a major wholesale distribution company. They did it all. Probably one of the biggest companies in the vapor industry. The company's founder and CEO blames the FDA's chaotic attempt to regulate the vaping industry along with the COVID-19 pandemic. Quote, "It's completely just a mess with FDA policymaking and policy strategy." AVAIL CEO James Zhu. It's XU. Zhu, right? Zhu. Told Richmond BizSense. "It just did not make any sense from day one. AVAIL began in 2013 with a few vape shops and an e-liquid manufacturing business in Richmond. But Zhu had big plans for the modest vape business." Sorry, the music got a little louder, huh? Anyway. "And even after the FDA laid out its blueprint in 2014 to cripple the independent industry by imposing burdensome and expensive requirements for market authorization, Zhu and AVAIL expanded rapidly, apparently trusting that the FDA would reverse course." Yeah, I think we were all hoping something like that would happen, but it never did. Here we are. Quote, "We believe that FDA regulations and e-vapor consumers' interests are aligned and that consumers want to know what is in their e-juice," Zhu said in 2015. Yeah, we all did want to know, and we learned, and we figured it out, and the industry genuinely self-corrected. Quote, "AVAIL Vapor made the mistake of wanting to dominate the market for products that were long marked for prohibition by the federal government," American Vaping Association President Gregory Connolly told Vaping 360. "The small company grew rapidly during the years before the FDA finished its slow walk toward a shadow ban of flavored e-liquid. AVAIL Vapor expanded to over 100 vape shops by 2017, and it began a partnership with tobacco manufacturer Altria. The relationship with Altria soon ended, but AVAIL continued to grow, and grow they did. AVAIL branched out to become a major contract manufacturer of e-liquid for other brands. It also launched a regulatory compliance business that offered lab services and consulting to vape businesses navigating the FDA's complex pre-market tobacco application process, the PMTAs. Talk about annoying. In January 2020, AVAIL split into 3 separate companies. 1, AVAIL Vapor LLC, Retail and Manufacturing. 2, Blackbriar Regulatory Services LLC, Contract Manufacturing and FDA Compliance Consulting and Laboratory Services. And 3, Blackship Technologies LLC, a Research and Development Service. In April 2020, according to BizSense, AVAIL had 350 employees. In June 2020, the company bought Giant Vapes, a major online vape retailer, and its subsidiary Giant Distribution, a wholesale supplier of e-liquid and vaping products. So even in 2020, as the pandemic is going on and everything's locked down, they're buying stuff. They're buying it up. They bought up Giant Vapes. Giant Vapes is one of the biggest. They're on the front page of Google. If you search for electronic cigarette products, you're going to find Giant Vapes on that front page. At least you did. You used to. Zhu told Richmond BizSense that sale of the Blackbriar lab and compliance business is close to being completed, and that Giant Vapes is no longer owned by AVAIL, although the company that owns it is incorporated at one of AVAIL's addresses, a mystery yet to be solved. AVAIL sold 30 of its vape shops to North Carolina-based competitor Mad Vapes in August, and the rest have been sold or closed since. AVAIL's own e-liquids are still sold through Giant Vapes, although the company's flavored product PMTAs received a marketing denial order from the FDA on September 15th. The FDA stayed enforcement of the NDO on November 1st, pending an administrative appeal. Zhu says AVAIL has spent more than $10 million on its PMTAs since the deeming rule was implemented in 2016. That's insane, but it's exactly what everybody said would happen. It's millions of dollars. You want to get a few products through? We're talking tens of millions of dollars. They spent over $10 million. I think they were only trying to get through maybe a dozen products, maybe, you know? Quote, in any other industry, their financial backing and regulatory consultants would have meant something, says the AVA's Gregory Connolly. But the FDA's unannounced check-the-box PMTA review process doomed AVAIL and its employees to this fate. And let's have a quick moment of silence for AVAIL Vapor, please. Give them the good old 10-bell salute. That's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible, and it's sad, and it's depressing, and it's stupid. But that's our future right there. One of the biggest vape shops, the biggest vaping manufacturers in America, out of business. Out of business. They even got their liquid stayed. So, I mean, they might be able to continue to sell their liquid, but where are you going to sell it at? You just sold all your vape shops, you know? They might still own Giant Vapes. Not really sure. That's a mystery yet to be solved. Either way. That's the sad, sad reality of the vaping industry as we stand right now today. You know? So yeah, that's about it. The rise and fall of AVAIL Vapor, the dire situation that this industry is in right now. No help can help us. It's kind of just hanging out here, you know, on this leaf, waiting for the wind to blow us away. The wind being the FDA. It's hard right now. If it's hard for the biggest. If it's hard for one of the biggest vape manufacturers in America, just imagine, just imagine the stress that I'm under. Just imagine how hard it is for all of these small mom and pop shops, the small businesses that are the lifeblood of the vapor industry. It's rough out here, man. It's rough out here, like genuinely. And that, all of that is exactly, precisely the problem that's wrong with everything here in America when it comes to electronic cigarettes and vaping in general. It's all a sham. It's all a scam, a setup, a fallacy. It's make-believe. It's a dream. It's a nightmare. They will not allow us to move forward into the future without us fighting and scratching and pulling and punching and kicking every single step of the way. They just approved. After denying literally every single e-cigarette company under the sun, all right, for 3 months straight, They have approved. Those vapor companies are only alive today because of synthetic nicotine. That's the only reason they're still on the market. And the FDA sure as hell doesn't want them there. All right? But the tobacco-free nicotine's the only saving grace of the industry right now, except for a couple of companies that got their marketing denial orders rescinded by a judge because they had to sue to get it rescinded. It's all a scam. They just approved 2 new cigarettes. I don't know if anybody's paid attention to any of that. They approved 2 new cigarettes, tobacco cigarettes, traditional tobacco cigarettes. It's like banging my head against a wall. They're bringing these 2 new cigarettes. I forgot who makes them. Anyway, they're bringing these 2 new cigarettes to market with the intention of using them as a harm reduction tactic. Cigarettes. Harm reduction cigarettes. What in the world does that mean? What does that mean? Did you take out the tar and the cancer and the death from the cigarettes? And are you putting out a safer cigarette onto the market? No. No, you're not, because the United States government has decided to declare nicotine as the new devil drug. So they took the nicotine out. 95% less nicotine. 100% of all the death. Still there. Less addictive. People are not going to be addicted to cigarettes anymore because of these wonderful inventions. Right? That's what they want us to believe. That's what they expect me to buy. Am I supposed to not believe that once they transition all cigarettes into this nicotine-free substance, that people aren't just going to be chasing it? Just chasing as far as they can? Just try to get that fix, try to get that nicotine. That's the only reason people use any of this stuff. It's nicotine. So the government, of course, is going to, just like they said for cannabis and all of that way back in the day. Alcohol, the U.S. government's done it to everything. Every enjoyable thing under the sun, the United States government has banned. All right, alcohol, cannabis. Look at those 2 things now. Alcohol's been good to go for years, for decades. The mafia took care of that. They were like, whoa, that's a bad idea. Go ahead, keep drinking, have at it, guys. Cannabis took about almost 100 years, right? But it's becoming more and more accessible, more and more available, more and more accepted. And now, the new battle is nicotine, for some reason, because it's so dangerous and it's so deadly, which it's not. It's super addictive, but so is caffeine. Is anybody going after Coca-Cola? No, they're not. So they shouldn't come after anybody for nicotine. It's absurd. It's absurd. Just like AVAIL had to close down every single shop and sell their shops to the ballsy companies that are still willing to put up with this crap. That's every single vape shop under the American sky. That's what the United States Food and Drug Administration wants every single one of us out of business, on the street, right? It's the American dream, they say. Let me tell you about that dream. That dream is a nightmare. And the United States Food and Drug Administration is the boogeyman, continuing to torture us, continuing to force us into smaller and smaller pockets until eventually everything's gone. All the vape shops have been decimated. All the employees are out of work. And then the FDA has won. They stand victorious. That is why right now is such an important time. I just think that as it all tumbles down to the ground, we just have to voice our opinions, just put them out into the world, just to try and balance the scales. Everybody, everything, every single social media you can, just even out in the world, just walking around at the Wally World, wherever you are, do not be afraid to share your opinions. We're not even getting political. I'm talking about vaping, nicotine being a bad thing. If it's so bad, then why is coffee so bad? Why is soda totally acceptable? Why is alcohol, okay? It just brings up all these questions, and I don't want those things banned. I don't. I want those things openly available on the market, as they should be. All right? Don't be afraid to tell anybody that you're a vapor. Don't be afraid to tell anybody that you enjoy nicotine. I don't care where you get it from. If you get it from cigarettes, wonderful. You're going to die faster, but that's okay. That's on you. That's your choice. That's what I'm about. That's what we should all be about, because we're Americans. Doesn't matter your political alliance. Those guys at the top are ruining the country. We could just take the vaping scene as an example. They are denying this harm reduction product, which is far less dangerous than tobacco. All right, it's far less dangerous than cigarettes. 95% less harmful, according to the Royal College of Physicians, over in England, but they don't count, right? They're not real scientists, right? But cigarettes, they're approving cigarettes. 2 new cigarettes are coming to the market. They're approved. The FDA approved them. They are coming to the market with less nicotine and just as much death. And they're right around the corner. Use that as an example to show that the government does not give a damn about any one of us. All they want us to do is fight. That's all they want. Fight, argue, kill each other. So the political elite can continue to enjoy, this all the spoils of this war that they created. Point being, stand together. Stand with your political adversaries right now. Stand with them. We need each other right now. We don't need to create the conflict. We need to fix the conflict. So anyway, that's as political as I'm going to get. We're going to step away right now. Let's wrap this thing on up. But yeah, I don't want to ramble too long. That's about it. That's this video. Short, sweet, to the point. The doom and gloom of the vapor industry. I'm going to become the doom and gloom guy. Just all the bad news that's happening. You can come to me, Mr. Pessimistic himself. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, morning, evening, whenever you have scrolled upon this video. Until next time, I've been Ronnie. You've been watching this. Hoodats, and may the force be with you.